You know that feeling,
Yeah.
right? You look at a record in your system, maybe a sales order or something,
Uh-huh.
and you see who created it, fine, and who last touched it.
Yep, the basic stuff. Created by, last modified by.
Exactly. But what about everything in between? All those little tweaks and changes. Sometimes you really need to know who did what, step by step.
Oh, absolutely. That lack of detail can be, well, a real headache, especially if you're trying to figure out an error or maybe for compliance reasons.
Totally. We actually heard about a perfect example of this recently. Manisha Sharma, she's a functional consultant over at Diana Solutions.
Okay.
She ran right into this with one of her customers.
So what was the specific challenge they had?
Well, this customer, they had 3 different people all working on creating sales orders in their system, Acumatica. And these weren't simple orders. People were going in, making changes, adjusting quantities, maybe prices, dates, several edits per order.
Okay, so multiple users, multiple changes on the same record. I can see where this is going.
You got it. The problem was Amatica's standard audit history. It just showed who kicked it off and who made the very last save.
Not granular enough. They couldn't see the individual changes each person made along the way.
Nope. They were blind to who changed field A or who adjusted field B. They just knew user 1 started it and maybe user 3 finished it.
Yeah, that's not ideal when you need accountability or need to trace back a specific modification. So, what did Manisha and Diana Solutions do? Did they find a way around it?
They did. And it actually involved 2 key steps within Amatica itself. Pretty neat, really.
Okay, let's hear it. What were they?
First up, they had to enable something called the field level audit role for those 3 users.
Right, giving them permission, or rather telling the system it's allowed to track their field-specific changes.
Exactly. That's the foundation.
Uh-huh.
They went into the tools menu, found audit history, and then crucially, they had to enable field level audit there. Yes, and this was important. They had to select all the specific data tables linked to the sales order screen. You couldn't just flip the main switch. You had to tell it which tables to watch closely.
Ah, gotcha. So permissions first, then turn on the detailed tracking and specify exactly where to track. Makes sense. And the result for the customer.
It was apparently a real aha moment. Suddenly, they could see everything.
Everything, like every single field change.
Every single one. Who changed it, what field they changed, the old value, the new value, and when they did it. For all 3 users.
Wow, that's the level of detail they were missing. Going from basically no insight between start and finish to a complete blow-by-blow account.
Precisely. Complete clarity on the whole process for each order.
That kind of detailed audit trail is just invaluable, isn't it? For troubleshooting, for understanding processes, for compliance. It covers so many bases.
No kidding. It moves you from guessing to knowing. It shows how important it is to really dig into your system's capabilities sometimes.
Definitely. The features are often there, just maybe hidden or needing the right configuration.
So for anyone listening who feels that same frustration, needing more than just created by and last modified by, especially maybe if you're using Omatica, it's worth investigating if this kind of field level auditing is possible. And, if figuring that out seems a bit daunting, reaching out to folks who specialize in this, like the team at Diana Solutions, that'd be a smart move.
Yeah, they could help unlock that deeper visibility, that who, what, and when for all your data changes.
Absolutely. It really changes things when you understand the full journey of your data, not just the start and end points.
Gives you a much truer picture of what's actually happening in the business.
What story is your data really telling you?